I saw so many young girls that didn't understand the dynamics of keeping a relationship healthy, sexy, loving, peaceful, content, and all of that. Nowadays, it's almost like disposable diapers. If it's a mess, you just throw it away.
Welcome to the My Future Business Show, where we get you in front of your best audience and keep you there. Not only are we interviewing the biggest names in business to help you become even more successful, we're inviting you to book your spot on the show to help you grow your business. So at the end of the call, make sure you fill in the interview application form at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. Hi and welcome back to the My Future Business Show. My name is Rick Nusky. It's wonderful to have you with us today. It's warm and sunny where we are, and I have on the line Joyce Fields with me, and she is an author, and she's going to be sharing some amazing stories about her journey, her website, and a number of other things along the show. So welcome to the show, Joyce.
Thank you very much. So I had a hard time getting on here, but I'm glad I'm here.
Well, that's wonderful. Wonderful that you are here. So what's been happening?
Nothing much. I turned 75 on February 4th.
Oh, wonderful.
So, yeah.
February 4th.
And,
Well, I'm an April 4th guy. So
okay.
four is a lucky number.
Yes. Yes.
So you're the owner of Good Short Books. Is that correct? .com?
GoodShortBooks.com. So now I'm noticing that, is this because you're in Australia? Is there like a delay or in the video?
No, absolutely not. All of the recording goes into a pre-recorded lot. So any delay that we have here is not a problem for the call.
Okay.
Yeah. So
see, it's very confusing because I'm talking and then it'll show me moving my mouth after I talk.
Well, what you should do is disregard what you're saying. You're coming through wonderfully well. You're looking fantastic. So I'd love to learn a lot more about your journey. Where are you at the moment?
I am in Arcadia, California. It's right outside of Pasadena.
Fantastic. Have you been there all your life, or is it a place you've moved to? Or
I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
We've been here in California. My husband and I have been here for 15 years. We moved here because of our grandchildren.
Fantastic.
I said that we had to give the grandchildren that lived in California good memories.
Oh, was this the genesis of your beginning to write books? Your grandchildren, or was that before that?
No, well before.
Well before.
I wrote my first book in 1997. I'm the oldest of 7 kids.
Yep.
Unfortunately, one of my oldest brother, he died of lung cancer in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So we always say when we talk on the phone, he always used to say, I'll talk to you next trip of the train. So we all say that now.
That's awesome.
In order to just keep his memory alive,
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it warms our hearts.
Absolutely. So why is it that you became an author? Where did this all start for you?
It started in 1997 when like I said, I'm the oldest of 7, and there has never been any sibling rivalry in our family. And I wanted to capture the way that we were raised. We were very poor, but we didn't know it. We didn't discuss money or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
My father was a factory worker. And so there's never been any sibling rivalry. And I just wanted to capture the way that we were raised.
Yep.
For future kids that will come along in the family. And it goes from 1944, the year I was born, to 1977, the year our mother passed on. And so a lot of the kids in the family have read the book, and they really loved it and enjoyed it. And so that was the first book that I wrote. And my husband and I have been together since we were 13 years old. We have been, that's 61 years we've been together, and 51 years we've been married. And so he adored my parents, and my brother that passed away was his best friend.
Right.
He met my brother before he met me. And so he wrote the first 15 or 20 pages or so because I had finished the manuscript in 1997, and I didn't know what to call it. So my husband and I were having a discussion, and he said, all of y'all have that line of serenity running through you. And I said, oh my God, that's going to be the title of the book, Line of Serenity.
Just came
And
to you
that
like
is
that.
the title. That is the title of the book.
That's wonderful.
And the first 15 pages or so, he's describing what he sees in each one of us, including my parents, what he sees that tells him about this line of serenity that runs through each one of us.
He would have a very deep understanding, I suspect.
Yes.
Yeah, in
yes.
many respects, he may know you better than yourself. Do you think?
No.
No? Oh, well, there you go. That's a beautiful thing.
I know him better than he knows himself.
It's funny. My wife says exactly the same thing.
See, that's what it is. We know.
Yeah, there's a boss and then there's the real boss, isn't there?
Well, I don't put it in those terms.
Oh, my wife does all the time. I love the fact that you have this wide collection of I guess, stories to tell that you've wrapped up as an author into these books. Can we talk a little bit about the other books and how they've actually come about for you?
Most definitely. In 1997, that was the first book, Line of Serenity. Yep. Now, all of these books that we're going to discuss, they're available at goodshortbooks.com.
Mm-hmm.
Goodshortbooks.com.
Yep.
And the next book that I wrote, I'm looking at, because I've written so many, I haven't written down. So the next one that I wrote was in 2003. And that one is called Mother's Dozen, an easy recipe for raising great kids.
Oh, can I have a copy, please? I think I need that.
So let me see here. I have them all right here. So Mother's Dozen, I'm trying to stay in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, that's better. That's fantastic.
Okay,
yep.
Yeah. I finished the manuscript. The reason why I wrote this one was because I saw so many, and still see, a lot of young girls, mothers, who don't have any clue as to how to raise a child. That's a human being, you know.
Yeah, hello.
It's not a little doll.
No, it's not something you just put in the cupboard, is it?
No, and you don't have to get them all dressed up. You just have to be concerned with their character and the development, and so don't dress them all up, but at any rate, so I wrote this book because I just saw so many young girls that didn't have a clue as to how to raise a child.
Mm-hmm.
And so I finished the manuscript, and then I sent it off to a publishing house, and they rejected it, and they said that they only take books like this from celebrities or ministers or psychologists or whatever.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. And I went one better, and my cousin was attending a church in Los Angeles, one of the biggest African-American churches in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And I emailed the pastor of his church. I emailed him the manuscript and asked him if he would consider writing a foreword for the book. And not only did he consider it, he wrote the most amazing foreword for this book. The foreword says, Mother's Dozen is a handbook of excellence in raising children. It systematizes the rules passed from generation to generation regarding preparing children for the world to come. It involves tough love. It encompasses touchy-feely. It establishes fences that keep the wolf out and the sheep safe. It is common sense, the most uncommon thing in the world, particularly in this present age of negative imaging and self-raised rug rats. The quest is not for something new, but for something substantial. It is here. Every line brings an aha experience. The head nods yes, the will prods action. Well done, well done. Reverend Cecil L. Chip Murray, First AME Church, Los Angeles, retired. He's the retired
Wow,
pastor.
you've
So
gone straight to the top with that one, haven't you?
I thought so. So if you want children that are well behaved, independent,
Yes.
all kinds of good stuff. So I'll tell you the ingredients that. So this is what I'm saying in the Mother's Dozen, an easy recipe for raising great kids. So that's why I call it the ingredients.
Yep.
Because I say recipe. So start from infancy, manners, the love for learning. You got to teach them love for learning, responsibility, rules, order, and organization, independence, spirituality, a belief in a higher power. Doesn't matter if it's Buddha, Allah, or whatever.
Whatever.
Yes. Affection, discipline and self-control, feed their interests, obedience, and the last ingredient is patience.
That's a wonderful lineup, isn't it? I mean, nowadays it seems that there is a lot of children that are, I guess, quote unquote, out of control in this respect. And
oh my God, is it? Oh, it just blows my mind.
yeah, absolutely.
So, and this book is only $7.99, and it's an investment in your child. You know, you can absolutely raise them with the things that I'm telling you about. This stuff is old. Yep. It's not new.
It's not new. It's just been well captured and formatted in a way that people can consume it and actually apply it.
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, it's wonderful that I have some time with you today. I wouldn't mind if you don't mind talking about your other book on bullying. I know that this is a massive issue in the school systems and online. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. That book is called Dear Bully.
Yep.
A collection of poems about bullying.
Yep.
I didn't show you the covers of the other ones, but I'm going to show it to you now.
Yeah, do that.
You did? Okay. Mother's Dozen.
Nice. Yes.
An easy recipe for raising great kids. And then the best way to keep a man is to let him go, among other things.
Oh, it resonates with me. I don't know why.
Yeah. So now you wanted to talk about the Dear Bully book.
Yes, please.
So here's the cover. And this book contains 25 poems that I wrote in 6 hours. It's almost like God just put his hands on me and made me write these poems in 6 hours. And the poems are written for children.
Right.
One of my favorite ones is, I didn't have it marked, but I'm trying to find that one. What really broke my heart was that so many children were committing suicide because of bullying. Bullying has been around since I was little, but kids were not committing suicide because of, we had fights and all of that, but it never happened. We never heard of that. I don't even think kids should even know the word suicide.
Yes. It seems to be omnipresent nowadays, doesn't it?
Yeah. So here's one of the powerful poems that I wrote here.
Fantastic.
All of the poems start with the words, Dear Bully. Dear Bully, how did you feel when you heard that I had committed suicide? Did you laugh and shout with glee, or did you want to run and hide? I was afraid to be in your presence. I was afraid when I heard your voice. I wanted to go to school each day, but your actions gave me no choice. Now I am gone and out of your reach. But this is not what I wanted. I just couldn't take it anymore. I was tired of being taunted.
Wow, that's very powerful, extremely powerful. It's and I think this speaks to anybody who is on the listening to the show today. If you're considering any of those dark thoughts, you should certainly reach out and speak to somebody, and get some attention and find a way to work through those things. I thank you very much for sharing that with me. You have so many other things that you talk about. What are some of the other books that you have authored and released?
Well, I wanted to go back to this one, to Dear Bully.
Yep.
So I wanted to show you how I have what I call no words.
Oh,
So
crossing
this,
out disrespect.
yes.
Yeah.
So it's full of no words too.
What's that one?
Malice.
Yep. And it doesn't take much to teach children nowadays. They're very receptive.
No, it doesn't.
They're very
Yes.
receptive. If you gave them an ear, to listen, they will talk all day. And I think that's a lot of what we're not doing nowadays, is listening and giving them an ear.
I know. And so this book, if parents will read it to the children, if they're too young, I don't think that like a 4 or 5-year-old can get to this. Okay. But I wrote the book for like 8 to 16-year-olds. That's what it's for, 8-year-olds. And then you can read it to them, or they can read it to themselves. And it also has poems in it that are from the parents' point of view. I want to read one more.
Sure.
Dear Bully, my child does not deserve the hurt and the pain that you cause. If you would stop and think, your actions would give you pause. You'd realize that each of us must have our chances to shine. You could be setting a better example. You could help this child of mine. I ask you to stop and think, dear bully. Please walk in the shoes of my kid. I think that would change your actions, and you would be glad that you did.
Yeah,
so that's from the parents' point of view.
And as a parent myself, I'm sitting here and it resonates. And I think a lot of the times that bullies have I guess somewhat of an upbringing that could have been better as well. I wonder if it's kind of a knock-on effect.
Yes.
And if we help this generation and generations to come, then maybe slowly but surely we can reverse the tide of this negativity that goes around.
That is my goal. I am hoping and praying that this will be changed, and hopefully my book can help.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, if anybody wants to get access to these wonderful books, go to goodshortbooks.com, was it, Joyce?
That's correct.
Fantastic.
Yes,
So,
goodshortbooks.com.
Now, you have 10 books. Are you working on anything else at the moment?
Not at the moment. Right now, I am promoting the best way to keep a man is to let him go, because Valentine's Day is coming up on the 14th.
Yes.
And so I'm working on promoting that one to if women, especially now men are buying this book too.
Yeah, I can see why.
Griffin, he calls it a masterpiece.
Oh wow, that's a
yes, and that's a guy.
Let's explore that a little bit. Can you tell us anything more about what the contents of that book is?
The best way to keep a man is to let him go?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that one I wrote because I saw so many young girls that didn't understand the dynamics of keeping a relationship healthy, sexy, loving, peaceful, content, and all of that. Nowadays, it's almost like disposable diapers.
Oh, yeah.
If it's a mess, you just throw it away.
Yep.
So you don't clean it up, or I don't understand that. But so I wrote this book when I was 15 years old. My late mother-in-law told me the best way to keep a man is to let him go. Now, I married her son when I was 23. As I said, we got married 51 years ago. And so my mother modeled that for me. The best way to keep a man is to let him go, because she let my father go and he just went on about his business. Now, letting him go does not mean leaving him or putting him out or anything like that. It just means being secure enough within your own being that you don't worry about where he is when he's not with you. Yep. You don't call him every hour or ask him where he's going or ask him when he's coming back, that kind of stuff, you know. So you don't do that.
Yeah.
And so like I said, my late mother-in-law told me that. Now, when I married her son, I observed that there were other things. So I added, among other things, to the title.
Yep.
So the title actually is "The Best Way to Keep a Man is to Let Him Go," among other things.
Among other things.
Uh-huh. So I have noticed that there were other things. So the other things that I noticed were that you had to modify the way you think.
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy versus reality. You know, women, girls and young girls and young ladies, I was one of them as well when I was in my early teens, especially 13, 14, 15. I used to read all these romance magazines
Mm-hmm.
and romance novels.
Reader's Digest type stuff?
No.
No.
It's not Reader's Digest type stuff. This is romance novels and magazines. I don't even know if they have them anymore. I haven't seen any lately. I haven't even looked at any. But no, it's not Reader's Digest. So, but it's not explicit or anything like that. But it definitely is not Reader's Digest.
Yeah.
So, but fantasy versus reality. They had us really locked into romanticism. And a lot of females still are into it.
Mm-hmm.
The knight in shining armor kind of crap. So that is not the way that relationships really go.
Yeah.
And based on my observations and experiences, 80% of the success of a relationship rests on the shoulders of the female. The reason why is because males do not mature as quickly as females do. So we have to give them time to mature. You know, females are born practically domesticated. We come into this world ready to play house and serve tea and all that, and you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Men do not long to be husbands and fathers. Women long to be wives and mothers.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
You know, so, but that's the, you know, so the women have to give the men time to grow into the relationship.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Absolutely.
Yes.
I certainly didn't initially feel like I wanted to settle down, and then one day I knew. And, you know, it wasn't till many years after we'd met that we decided to move forward because I became quote unquote ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're a walking example of what I'm talking about.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look, Joyce, it's amazing to have spent some time with you on the show. Again, for everybody who's listening today, go to goodshortbooks.com and you will find all of Joyce's work. Joyce, thanks for spending some time with me on the show today.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'll go to goodshortbooks.com. On my email is goodshortbooks@yahoo.com. And my Facebook is Joyce Fields. I'm on Instagram. It's JJ Fields. JJ7. JJ Fields. I'm getting all these things mixed up. Instagram is JJ Fields, the number 7.
Got it. Well, look, I will make all of the links available below this post, and I will speak with you again soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the call, then make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, share us with your friends, and book your spot on the show at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. And if you're looking for solutions that will help grow your business, then visit myfuturebusiness.com/shop.